Welcome back to another night of our Halloween horror movie marathon. Tonight's movie was Dreamcatcher, the second movie this year that was a Stephen King film. Well, book and then film. So let's start it off. Acting.
I'm going to give it a 4. You got some great actors in here. Timothy Olyphant, Morgan Freeman, Jason Lee,
Thomas Jane,
and a whole bunch of more, and they all do a great job. You know, even a lot of them, this was their earlier career for a lot of these people, and they still managed to do a great job.
Now, you've seen this one before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how recently? Did you remember a lot of the movie? Or
No, I didn't remember very much of it. Only the part with the aliens.
You are obsessed with aliens. I will say, though, I agree with acting. Like you said, a lot of big stars, all the ones you mentioned. Donnie Wahlberg was in here, too. Just a lot of big names, and they all did very well. Even the people that weren't necessarily bigger names that you don't know or remember, it was very good. I liked all the roles. Everyone did a great job. It was, definitely a 4. Effects. This one, I'm going to give this a 4, too. The aliens all looked great. Everything looked really good. I don't know if it was as much effect as just a really good acting choice, but the one main guy there, Jonesy, when he was, going between himself and Mr. Gray, the accent, the way they did things, that was really good.
Yeah.
But, all the aliens looked good, and the gore when they had it, and, yeah, effects, definitely another 4.
Fun fact, Damian Lewis is actually Scottish. So he actually has an accent, so his American...
neither of those were his real accent.
Yeah.
Well, he's closer. Not British or American, so those were both...
Closer, yeah. He might be British, because I know he's in the running to be the next James Bond.
Huh.
British, Scottish, Irish, Irelandish?
Irish.
That's the word.
Like Anna?
Yeah. I gotta give it a number, don't I?
You do.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. Yeah, I love the effects. Everything looks good. The blood, the aliens. I love the part where the helicopters are coming in towards the spaceship and the aliens are standing there waving, and then all of a sudden they turn into that big shit weasel with the legs and they're running. That's a pretty cool looking scene.
Those are very cool.
That was a very interesting take on an alien.
Yeah. Story. Here, I want to say... I can't necessarily say 5, because maybe not a perfect story, but definitely a 4. Like...
4, huh?
I mean, I love Stephen King anyway, so I'm maybe partially biased there. This is one of his few books I haven't read yet, but I have a huge collection of his books. I've watched most of his movies, so I'm a big Stephen King fan. Like I know the Salem's Lot one we watched earlier, I had watched previously. So, yeah, I really loved this, but not just because it was his. Like, this was just a very solid story. And I'm not even huge on alien movies more often than not, but this one was really good. I like the different characters and the way they all played into it, and Duddits and all of that. And yeah, I thought it was great. It wasn't incredibly predictable either. Like, you didn't necessarily know what was going to happen from minute to minute. And I mean, the overall thing, you could probably guess they're going to save the day and whatnot, but some of the rest along the way kept you guessing. So yeah, the story was very good. Definitely a 4.
It took 53 minutes, and I know because I looked at the count on the clock, for any aliens to show up in the movie. True fact. 53 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't seem like that, The story is so good that you're invested the whole way through.
Even though it's very well.
Nothing happens during that 53 minutes except for a bunch of guys in a cabin. It was still enjoyable. And then when it does happen, you're like, holy shit! And then the movie kicks it up a notch.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I got to give it a 4 because it's over a 2-hour movie and it keeps it going very well.
I will say that's one of the things I like about his books is he's incredible about world building. Like, when he's building his way up to the actual story and the events that really drive it, you're not bored entirely along the way. Like, there's always, even though he's just describing the people and giving you background on the characters and the surroundings, you get invested right away. He's really good at that, and it showed in the movie too. Because, like you said, the first hour of it, when there's not much going on, you're never bored. So yeah, very good. So you're saying 4 as well?
I'm saying 4, and not just because aliens.
Yeah. Last one then, scare factor. I'm torn between a 2 and a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3. I'll go first. I'm going to give it a 3. It's average. It's got some good visual imagery that can be creepy. There are some moments of suspense. There was a part where you were saying, all right, jump scare in 3, 2, 1, and it didn't. And it kept going to the slow shot.
Yeah.
So I think that I think there were some little twists and turns that they took that were kind of kept the movie interesting and intriguing for a scare factor point. So I'll give it a 3. It was about average. Nothing spectacular, but it had its moments.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 3 as well. I like I said, I was torn between 2 and 3, but honestly, as far as a horror or suspense thriller, whatever subgenre you want to call it, as far as one of those based around aliens, this is probably the model I think they should try to emulate. Like the aliens were creepy and everything looked really good, and they didn't go over the top with it. Because if you overdo it too much and you throw them in right away and you're constantly pushing them in your face, then they don't have the same appeal. It wears out very quickly, and it's just not scary. It doesn't have the effect anymore.
True.
Here, like you said, they wait an hour to show them to you, and even then, it's not constant. Like the main guy, Mr. Gray there, you only see him once when he gets the guy, and only for a second, and then right at the end. Until then, it's just the little worms, the shit weasels. So, I mean, it's good. There's a lot of, the gore is all decent, the suspense in different areas. I thought, yeah, they did a good job. It could definitely be creepy. I'm going to give it a 3. Like you said, average, it's good. It's not the best, but it's definitely not bad by any means.
There we go. Good deal.
Alright, so overall rating on this one is just under a 4, which is fair. It's an above average movie. It was a very good flick.
Yep.
This is one I could definitely recommend. Like
Absolutely.
I said, I'm not even a big sci-fi alien movie kind of guy, but no, very good story. The actors all did amazing. I'm a big fan of some of them anyway. I love Timothy Olyphant. Everything he's in is great. And actually, I'm a huge Jason Lee fan. I love him from all the Jay and Bob movies, and then he was in like Underdog and Alvin and the Chipmunks and lots of voiceover work in kids movies now. But no,
My
he's
name
great.
is Earl.
Yeah, he was actually decent in that. But yeah, no, this highly recommended. Very good film. Even if you're not a horror person, it's not scary enough to where it would turn you off. It's just a good watch. And there you go. So it looks like we're getting better as we're closing in on the second half of the marathon here, and hopefully that trend keeps up.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Should be good ones going on. So here's hoping. Are you gonna
Dreamcatcher!